Hello friends, welcome to all. This is yours Dr. Vignesh Varmeka, and today we will learn the volcanoes. In that we go with the volcanoes definitions and causes. For this session we start with the definitions and causes of volcanoes. Dear students, this is one of the most important chapters. We have to focus on this in order to achieve your uh, competitive examinations. You might have heard about the volcanoes, and you might have seen erupting volcanoes in televisions, movies, and newspapers, electronic media, print media, and even in magazines. Despite these similarities, have you ever questioned how volcanoes occur? Why do they erupt? Why are they located where they are? You will come to know answers to the questions in this section. You will learn that an important clue to the volcano's origin, eruptive processes is found in its shape and size in a clear manner. Firstly, we will start with the definitions of volcanoes. The term volcano is derived from Vulcan, the Roman god of fire and metalwork. Volcano may be defined as many landforms that releases lava, gas, or ashes, or has done so in the past. The geomorphic processes that gives rise to volcanoes and volcanic rocks are collectively known as volcanism. Volcanism is the phenomena of eruption of molten rock material, that is magma, onto the surface of the earth or a solid surface planet or moon or a planet in the solar system where lava, pyroclasts, and volcanic gases erupt through a break in the surface called a volcanic vent. Volcanoes occur not only on the earth but on other planets too. About 1500 volcanoes are believed to be active on Earth's surface. Volcanoes are the mountains that erupt. Sometimes they explosive. Volcanism is one of the endogenetic process capable of rendering sudden and massive changes in the surface features of the earth. Volcanicity represents processes and features related to the movement and solidification of magma both within the crust and on the surface. Surface processes include the formation of volcanoes. In simple words, volcanism is the phenomena of eruption of molten rock material, that is magma, pyroclasts, and volcanic gases to the surface through a pipe called the volcanic vent. Most of the scientists estimate that at least 500 millions of the total world population is at risk from the volcanoes. Millions of people are vulnerable to the effects of the dangerous volcanic eruption. It is very important to improve our understanding of the volcanoes and how they work. The study of the volcanoes is known as volcanology. The scientists who studies volcanoes are called as the volcanologists. Volcanology also improves our understanding or comprehend of the interior of the earth. The points to be covered in this session: formation of magma, where do volcanoes form, prediction of volcanic eruptions, and causes of volcanoes. Magma. The molten rock is liquid. It is less dense than the rocks that produce heat. Therefore, as magma accumulates and begins to float upward, finding a path to the surface by fracturing lithosphere along the zones of weakness. In some places, the molten rock material, that is magma, eventually reaches the surface of the earth and erupts as lava. Hot materials escape from an opening, which we call it as volcanic vent or fissure. These vents and fissures are the volcanoes through which hot molten materials are ejected regularly or intermittently. The passage through which the molten materials are ejected is the volcano. It may appear on the surface through some fissures called the fissure type, or through a single opening where it assumes shape of a cone called the cone or crater type. If eruptions have ceased, it is extinct volcano which was active in the past. Formation of magma in the mantle. Magma, the molten rock material, forms deep in the Earth's crust or below the surface and in the upper part of the mantle, the second layer of the Earth's interior. In these places, the temperature and pressure are very high. Changes in pressure and temperature can cause magma to form in liquid form. Part of the upper mantle is made of very hot solid rock. The rock is so hot that it can flow like soft chewing gum even though it is solid. If rock of this temperature were found at the Earth's surface, it would be molten or melted. The rock in the mantle does not melt because it is under high pressure. This pressure is produced by the weight of the rock above the mantle. The curved line shows the melting point of a rock in the figure that is shown on the picture. The melting point is the temperature at which the rock melts for a certain pressure. The curved line shows the melting point of the rock. Rock with the temperature and pressure of point A is liquid in condition. The rock at the same temperature but high pressure, that is at B, is solid in condition. Rock at the same pressure but lower temperature at point C is also solid in condition. So the formation of magma depends upon the temperature and pressure availability in the areas where the magma is formed. The temperature of the mantle is fairly constant. Magma usually forms because of a decrease in pressure. Therefore, a lot of magma forms at the boundary between separating plate tectonics or tectonic plates where pressure decreases. Magma is less denser than the solid rock it formed from. Therefore, it rises toward the surface through earth crust and erupts onto the surface. Where do volcanoes form? The locations of volcanoes give us clues about how volcanoes form. The figure that shows the location of some of the major active volcanoes. The map also shows the boundaries between tectonic plates. Most volcanoes are found at tectonic plate boundaries. For example, there are many volcanoes on the plate boundaries surrounding the Pacific Ocean that appears you on the screen. Therefore, the area is sometimes called the Ring of Fire, the Pacific Ring of Fire. Remember that the tectonic plate boundaries are areas where plates collide, separate, slide past one another. Most volcanoes are found where plates move together or apart. About 15% of active volcanoes on landform where plates separate, and about 80% form where plates collide. The remaining few volcanoes on land are found far from the plate tectonic boundaries in the form of patches. Where do volcanoes form? The volcanoes' locations gives clues about how volcanoes form, as we discussed in the previous paragraph. Where plates move apart, where plates move together in the middle of the plates. How magma forms at a divergent boundary. Look at the picture on the screen. The two plates at a divergent boundary moving apart. When the plates move apart, the pressure on the mantle below them decreases. Here it decreases. As the pressure decreases, the mantle rock starts to melt into molten rock material. Then the magma rises towards the surface. How magma forms at a convergent boundary? Look at the picture on the screen. At convergent boundary, the water mixes with the rock in the mantle. The rock's melting point goes down. The mantle rock melts to form a molten rock material, that is magma, which rises towards the surface. As the ocean crust sinks, the temperature and pressure on it increases. The crust releases water into the mantle above it. Prediction of volcanic eruptions. Scientists believe in that. Scientists cannot always predict when and where a volcano will erupt. However, by studying ancient and modern volcanoes, scientists have been able to identify some signs that an eruption may happen. One feature that scientists use to predict whether an eruption will happen is the state of the volcano. Small quakes and volcanic gases. Most active volcanoes produce small earthquakes as the magma within them moves upward. This happens because the magma pushes on the rocks as it rises. In many cases, The number and strength of these earthquakes increase before a volcanic eruption takes place. Therefore, monitoring earthquakes is one of the best ways to predict an eruption of volcano. Scientists also study the volume and composition of gases given off by the volcano. Just before an eruption, many volcanoes give off more gas. The composition of the gas may also change before an eruption. By monitoring the gases, scientists can predict when an eruption may happen or going to take place. Measuring slope and temperature, we can predict volcanic eruption. As magma rises before an eruption of volcano, it can cause the Earth's surface to swell. The side of a volcano may even bulge. Scientists can use an instrument called a tiltmeter to measure the slope of the volcano's sides. Changes in the slope can indicate that an eruption is likely to take place. One of the newest methods for predicting volcanic eruptions involves using satellite images. Satellites can record the surface temperatures at and around volcanoes. As magma rises, the surface temperature of the volcano may increase. Therefore, an increase in surface temperature can indicate that an eruption is likely to take place in that area. Now, let us focus on what are the causes of volcanoes or volcanic eruption. Let us start to read about the reasons behind the eruption of the volcano or the volcanism. Although the scientists are trying to investigate the ultimate reasons or the causes, some of the basic probable causes are given in the following lines. You have read that the Earth's interior is very hot. Water vapors and hot molten magma move towards the surface through low pressure, weak planes. A release of high pressure, which built up within magma chamber, cause eruption of the volcanoes on the surface of the Earth. Accumulation of radioactive heat produces magma inside the Earth. This molten material ultimately comes out in the form of volcanoes onto the surface. The friction and the fault movements at greater depths may cause melting and forcing of the magma material or the molten rock material to the surface. There is a huge temperature between the inner layer and outer layers of the Earth surface due to the differential amount of radioactivity. These variations of temperature gives rise to the convectional currents in the mantle. The convectional currents and the mantle create convergent and divergent boundaries, that is weaker zones. At the divergent boundary, molten and semi-molten, sometimes a gaseous material appears on the Earth at the first available opportunity. Earthquakes here may expose fault zones through which magma may escape. At the convergent boundary, the subduction of dense plate creates magma at high pressure, which will rise or escape to the surface in the form of volcanic eruptions.